So today's talk is take Skype for Business beyond with response groups. So we'll talk a little bit about what Skype for Business does with their contact center offering and how we as Enghouse Interactive can really expand on the response groups. So first off, just a little background on who we are. I recognize some of the faces that have stopped by the booth, so thanks again for coming over here. Enghouse Interactive, formerly ZCom, might be a little bit better known in the industry as ZCom. We provide contact center applications based around the contact center, which is our contact center routing, as well as different applications including call recording, knowledge management, IVR. We do analytics on top of our call recording. So anything really basically related to a contact center, a call center, is what we have to offer. All right. And what we're going to spend the majority of our time talking about is not only the response groups, how we expand on those, but our core contact center application, which is our Enghouse Interactive Contact Center. And really how we build off that as a platform and how we kind of tack on the different applications. And we'll talk about some of the agent login classes and use expert agent routing. All right. So first off, response groups. You guys familiar with response group, or have you guys dealt with any of the Skype for Business type of contact center routing? Generally, a response group is going to be built in to the Skype for Business platform. It's built on the traditional hunt group routing. So you guys might be familiar with some of the older technology that's out there. There's a few different types of either serial or last agent selected, but it really doesn't truly incorporate any of the expert agent routing capabilities that we have to offer. So we use skills-based routing, which in our term is also known as our agent login classes. And we use our agent login classes to deliver the caller to the most appropriate agent in as quick amount of time as possible. All right. So that's kind of above and beyond what you'll see within Skype for Business, as opposed to just kind of do the dumb routing directly to an agent. We're incorporating some knowledge in there so that we're routing to the most appropriate agent, the most skilled agent that's going to be queued up for that call. Okay. So this is just kind of give you a high level here of an incoming call. This is not me. So we've got a couple queues here, sales queue and a support queue. We're incorporating some knowledge so that we know that call is automatically, based on our and it's going to go to a sales queue. Okay? So if that sales agent is not available, for example, after a certain amount of time, what we'll do is start incorporating some backup agents that they might not be primary agents to that queue specifically, but that might be their secondary skill set. So they might be a primary support queue agent, but as a backup, they'll be routed to the sales queue based on their skill set. And then to even expand a little bit farther, what we incorporate is our true backup agents, where we can do some cherry picking. We can do on-demand type of routing, so that if a call is in queue for an exceeded amount of time, or that threshold has been exceeded, our backup agent or a supervisor can go in there and automatically pull that call out of the queue. Okay, so again, these are really above and beyond what we're looking at with this just the kind of the dumb routing with the response groups that are built into Skype for Business. In addition to the skills-based routing, a couple things that we can incorporate is our enhanced routing. So one of the use cases for enhanced routing is VIP routing. So you'll see this in contact centers, or the request for this in contact centers, that they want to give their VIP callers priority. So instead of sitting in queues for a couple minutes or whatever your thresholds are at, you can route those calls directly to the front of the queue, so that those customers are getting the attention that they deserve. We can also incorporate some of the value-based routing. An example of value-based routing would be delinquent accounts. So that you have a caller that's calling in on a delinquent account, we can automatically route them to collections. So they're not having to go through the process of going through the sales and support queue. They're getting routed directly to the delinquent account collections queue, so they can start working on collections. Another scenario of the value-based routing would be a subscription, a cell provider, where your account is coming up due. Your account is going to expire in 3 months, and we know that based on their status. We might want to send them to a renewal, a sales group that can start talking to them about incentives, renewals, promotions that you guys have that are coming up. So you can see the value as opposed to just routing them to an agent that might not be skilled or prepared to talk to the caller that what they're looking to talk about. We're routing them directly to the most appropriate agent based on the routing. Question? So a couple things. So we can either incorporate based on a caller ID. We can route them based on their cell phone or their home number. The other things that we can do is pull based on their CRM. So we have a built-in plug-in to, great question. We have existing built-in plugins to Salesforce, Microsoft CRM, SAP. So we're pulling information based on their account information out of those providers. So not only do we have the understanding of where they're calling in from, but we have the knowledge of their account status, their account history, their preferences. So we're trying to stay a little bit ahead of the call with some of the enhanced routing that we're doing.
Question. Sorry.
Yes.
Which presentation is this?
I am this guy right here.
Okay.
Take Skype for Business. Yes. Are you in the right spot? Okay. All right. Okay. So just talk a little bit about expanding on the groups. We also do multimedia queuing. Okay. So not only are they available to intelligently route voice calls, we can also do that with multiple types of media. So we can look at the preferences, what your customers or their preferences are on their contact center. We can incorporate email, chat, SMS queuing. We do multi types of activity queuing. So if you have specific types of activity that you want queued up and addressed, we can route those as well. And we do the traditional voice as well as in addition to faxing as well too. So if you have those customers out there that need faxes queued up, we can do that as well. So really what we're trying to get there with the point of any contact center, we're trying to take the onus of sending an email to support tech and just having them get back to you a week or two later. We're putting that onus on the contact center where we're queuing it up so that the first available and the most skilled agent is going to get that interaction, whether it's voice, email, chat, SMS. And then we're getting the analytics on the back end of that as well too. So not only are we getting the live analytics, the real-time reporting, but we're getting the historical reporting as well too. So we're seeing that all tied in, cradle to grave. So you'll see where that call comes in or interaction comes in, where it was transferred, how it was interacted, and how we're closing that out as well. So how do we manage these interactions is through our user interface, which is called Touchpoint. And we touched on that a little bit earlier, but that is not only our agent interface, but our supervisor interface as well, too. So on a day-to-day basis, this is how we are handling and managing these interactions. This is the software that our agents will use to understand what queues they're logged into, how many calls are waiting in queue, thresholds that have been exceeded. So this is the day-to-day driver. And what we'll do is, if we can finish this up here in a few minutes here, I'd like to give you guys a demonstration on our interface here. It just didn't have the right connector, so we'll just run over there if you guys don't mind. And we can place in a couple test calls. We can see what a web chat looks like and take you through a couple calls, just so you have an understanding of what it looks like on the agent and supervisor side. Just a couple things here. We'll definitely show these over here on our demonstration.
Excuse me.
Yes.
This is based on the Skype Enterprise?
Yep. This is with Skype for Business. So Skype for...
But there's levels of Skype for Business. Which level is this one?
So we're building off of Skype for Business as a voice platform. Okay. So we integrate via trusted conference with Skype. And so what we're doing is we're tying up those conferences with Skype, still using Skype as a call control, and we're basically telling it where to go. So we provide all of the auto attendants. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for support. So once we're doing that, we're routing it to, again, the most appropriate skill set, the agent that we're routing it to. And then we'll show that here to you in a second. This is a premise-based solution. Yeah, it can be. I mean, it can be a hosted solution. We've got into the opportunities where we're actually doing like a private cloud type of solution. We could definitely store it in a colo or a data center. But traditionally is a host or an on-prem solution, whether it's run on a physical server or a virtual server. So we have some flexibility there as well. Yeah. Alrighty. So kind of in conclusion, before we take a look at the interface, this is kind of the stuff that you'll want to start talking about with your contact center managers and your different opportunities is how is my skills-based routing really going to truly enhance my contact center? And these are some of the reasons. In summary, just routing those calls directly to the most appropriate agent. We've all been on the call having to repeat ourselves. You know, hey, I'm calling for support. You routed into the sales queue. So we're taking that frustration away from the contact center. First call resolution. We're expanding on that again by taking it directly to the most skilled agent. And then we talked about a little bit on the integration for the CRM integration. So we're not only routing it to the most appropriate agent, but we're providing the tools that your agents need to get the call process, giving them the information, account status, history, preferences, all that information that John mentioned on our SAP and different types of CRM integration. So any questions? I know there's a lot. I only got a couple minutes here, so I'm trying to go through quite a bit here. But any questions? Anything else that you wanted to see? We integrate natively to Avaya, Communication Manager, IP Office, as well as Skype for Business, Call Manager, Cisco Call Manager, yeah. And then when we start looking at maybe some other platforms, then we have another offering that we would start looking at that we can integrate to. Alrighty. So no more questions, guys. If you guys have a couple minutes, I'd love to have you come over and we'll run through a couple calls just so you can see how it looks like on a day-to-day basis, agent interaction.